The light is not up. Okay.
It's not.
Okay. Where is my camera now?
It's not.
It's camera. Okay. Is it better this?
Just carry on. Then.
Okay.
Then you follow the stuff.
I think this.
That's a man.
That's a man. The hell of my God.
I'm getting a
wife life. T4. Thanks.
Underscore.
Okay. Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. This is, as usual, we'll have ID Med Health. We're supposed to be live, and we are expecting one of. So, all right. We're expecting our this thing to join as quickly as possible. So you're welcome to today's episode on 30 minutes on ID Med Health. Today we'll have with us Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu. Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu is an optometry doctor. He's a doctor of the eye, and today he'll be sharing with us so much he knows about so I'm trying to get him to come up. I'm trying to get him to come up online, and so as we're waiting for Dr. Ikechukwu, sorry for the delays, because we've been experiencing some technical issues. So so kind to join. Hello. So I've sent an invite link again to him. So we're expecting him to come online as soon as possible. So today we'll be talking about the world is bright, save your sight. This is an insight to glaucoma and refractive errors. So we're still waiting for Dr. Ibebike to join us. He's trying to join us, and I think we were having a little technical issues, and I hope he sorts it out as soon as possible. He's coming up.
Okay.
Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu is live with us.
Yes.
Hey, Ibebike Ikechukwu, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
It's good to see you after a very long time, my doctor. Can you turn your camera like this?
Huh?
Can you turn your camera to a portrait Yeah, I think exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, like
So,
this.
yeah. I think it's perfect. This this man is looking as smart as he has always looked. You know.
Ah, the half an hour.
So, Dr. Ibebike, how far? Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I'm
It's
good.
good to
See,
have you here with us. And today, we're going to be talking about an insight. The word is bright. Save your sight. An insight to glaucoma and refractive errors. But then, before we go ahead talking about this, I would want you to, if this video, I believe, is coming up on YouTube too. So if you're on YouTube, you subscribe to our channel. If you're on Instagram, you follow us as fast as you can. So, Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu, good evening. How are you doing? How is Ebonyi State this evening?
good evening. Ebonyi State is quite calm, cool, and we are moving forward.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So we're going to start because we've delayed a bit. We've used 6 minutes into our time and we wouldn't want to waste any further time again. So, Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu, today you'll be telling us about glaucoma and refractive errors. So, first of all, what is glaucoma? What is the word glaucoma?
Okay, glaucoma. Glaucoma is one of the many eye diseases that really affect the vision.
Okay.
To be specific, glaucoma is an eye disease that affects the optic nerve of the eye. To bring it down, the optic nerve of the eye is the nerve that actually gives us vision. The nerve that works together with many things, that works together with the brain, that gives us this vision that we see. So without the optic nerve, you will not be able to see very well. Now, this glaucoma is one of the diseases that attack this optic nerve, which will lead to gradual loss of vision. So, in summary, glaucoma is an eye disease that reduces the vision, that takes away our vision without us knowing. So that's what glaucoma is in general.
Okay, I think your voice is a bit low. Could it be because you're far from this mic or what? Because I could barely hear you.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. It's better.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, are there forms of glaucoma?
Yes. There are many forms of glaucoma, but these forms are under two basic types. There is open angle. Before the open angle, there is primary glaucoma and secondary glaucoma. Under the primary glaucoma, there are two types. There is primary open angle glaucoma, POAG, and there is primary acute closed angle glaucoma, PACG. Primary acute closed glaucoma. So, apart from this two, now there's secondary glaucoma. This secondary glaucoma is in relation to glaucoma caused by a secondary disease or a secondary factor. So, it's acquired. If you don't call it secondary, you call it acquired. So that's for secondary. Now, the more one will focus on more is the glaucoma that is being caused by some different things. So if you go down the line, there are many other extra different types of glaucoma. There are glaucoma that can be caused by diabetes, there are glaucoma that can be caused by secondary factors. Like all those other types are under the secondary glaucoma. But for the basic, it's either primary or acquired, or primary or secondary. Then under the primary, you have the two men, primary open angle glaucoma and primary acute closed angle glaucoma. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. I don't know if maybe if anybody is having any problem with the sounds, the person can identify, because I think your voice is a bit. Those okay. Let's continue. How can this glaucoma be detected? Are there symptoms? Maybe some of the things you see, and you start you start thinking, okay, this could be glaucoma. And if there are symptoms, how can it be detected in the hospital? When a patient comes to you, what are the things you would do to confirm the glaucoma?
Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are two categories, primary and secondary. They are not the primary. There are also two categories, the POAG and PACG. Now, for the symptoms you're asking of, I will categorize them between these two. Now, for the POAG, primary open angle glaucoma, rarely does somebody notice any symptom. Like it's a symptomless.
Okay.
Rarely do you notice symptoms. The only thing I can say that you may experience is a kind of eye ache, as if your eye is hitting you. Kind of eye ache, and it's not just because of, it's just only linked to glaucoma. That eye ache is as a result of one of the things that cause the glaucoma. So for the POAG, is mostly asymptomless. The person does not even know that you have POAG until the eye may have done some serious damage. So if I meant to add, testing the eye at intervals will help to know if you have. But before I go to that point, I believe that there are some questions that will come up concerning that, so I can enlighten more. But for POAG, there is no symptom that you can just say this is what I'm feeling, because even the eye ache I talked about, there are many other eye issues that will bring up eye ache. That's for the POAG. Then for the PACG, that's the acute type. One of the symptoms the person may feel is serious throbbing headache, redness of the eye, like the eye will be so red. And before you even say that this is the acute angle glaucoma, you will have to do some kind of test for us to know if it is acute angle glaucoma, because many things can actually cause red eye and painful eyes. So, but I'm just saying it from the open angle. In a layman's perspective, that for the POAG, the primary open angle glaucoma, you will not really get any symptoms. There's no symptoms targeted directly to it. But for the PACG, the acute angle, there's pains, severe pain, and there's redness, acute redness of the eye. That's what you can actually get. So that's it for the symptoms.
Okay. So I was, when I sent out the flyer for this particular session, someone saw it, and he chatted me up, and he was like, he had that.
I'm not hearing you very well.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, hope it's clearer now.
It's clearer.
Okay, so he said he heard that marijuana can be used to cure glaucoma. As a specialist, do you think that is a possibility?
Okay. Now, before I answer this question directly, first, let me answer the question directly. The answer is a capital NO. There's no way marijuana can cure glaucoma. There is no way marijuana can cure glaucoma. For crying out loud, this is not a go-to substance. Like, you know what marijuana can do. So there's no possibility that marijuana can cure glaucoma. The answer is a capital no. It's not possible for marijuana to cure glaucoma. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you've heard it. I believe the guy, he told me he's going to come up, and I hope you're here and you've heard it, that glaucoma cannot be cleared or cured by what's it called, marijuana. So please, you just stay away from such primitive prescriptions from people in forms of meds that have never been helpful to medical science. So yes, the doctor says it cannot cure glaucoma. So what's the relationship between glaucoma and diabetes?
Okay, now, as I said that in glaucoma there is primary and secondary. Now, under the secondary, that's where you get different causes or what can lead to glaucoma. Now, diabetes and glaucoma are linked. Even to make it funny, the name of the glaucoma that is being caused by diabetes is called, the name of the glaucoma is called neovascular glaucoma. That's the name of the glaucoma that is being linked to diabetes. Neovascular glaucoma. As you know, there won't be any symptom. You will not know. It's us doctors that will be able to look into the eye and know that this type of glaucoma is neovascular. Plus the other tests that will do. This neovascular glaucoma is like that optic nerve I talked about.
Yeah.
It makes the blood vessels thin. The blood vessel, what supplies the blood vessels of the optic nerve, all those optic nerve arteries and veins. If you notice, the blood vessels will be thinner than normal. So the link between diabetes and glaucoma is that neovascular glaucoma. It is under the secondary type of glaucoma because what is causing this glaucoma now is diabetes. So that's the link. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Dr. Ibebike, I think, do you think there are practical things one can do to prevent glaucoma? Are there things we can do, things we can avoid, foods, lifestyles that we can actually engage in that can help us to reduce the risk of contracting glaucoma?
Okay. I like how your questions are going, and in response to but I would like to, before I go into this question, your answer, I think some of our viewers will want to actually know what can cause this glaucoma, what can cause this glaucoma.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Before we go deep, I think they would like to know what can cause it.
Yeah.
So like I'll be able to elaborate and differentiate.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now, as I said, glaucoma is of two categories, primary and secondary. Under the primary, there is primary open angle glaucoma and there is primary angle closure glaucoma, BACG and BOAG. And then the secondary. Now, I will mention them gradually, these two categories and subtypes. Now, for the primary, under the primary, and for the primary open angle glaucoma, there are causes, and apart from the causes, there is also risk factors. I'll first of all mention the risk factors. People who are susceptible to have this primary open angular glaucoma.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the risk factors, the age. Excuse me. In terms of the
Sorry,
risk
yeah.
factors, the age is more of people who are elderly, from the between 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and above. They're the ones more predisposed to have this glaucoma. That's in terms of the age. And mind you, younger children, as low as 10 years, 15 teenagers can also have this glaucoma. But their glaucoma category falls under what we call juvenile. It's not under the secondary, but it's under this primary, but a subdivision of this primary, juvenile, like they are young. So it's not as if it's only those from the elderly, those from 50, 60, but also young people between the age of 10 to 35, they can have this glaucoma. They call it juvenile glaucoma. So it depends the one they now have, whether it's under the primary or under the secondary. So that's for the age I'm talking about. Then also sex. The sex, it does not matter whether if you're a man or a woman, or boy or girl. All gender is equal. Now, there's another subcategory that is about causes. The risk factors. I mean, the race. This glaucoma is more on people in this our African continent. It affects us more than the Europeans. The Europeans have it, but we have it more. If you're talking about in terms of percentage, the Europeans like 4%. Africans, us, we are like 16% of people who have this. So in terms of geographic division, Africa, people in Africa, blacks, have more risk to have this glaucoma than the whites, the Europeans. As you go further to the Asians, it's lesser. So these are some of the risk factors of those who can have this glaucoma. Now, the glaucoma, this factor is like general of all types of glaucoma. But now coming to the causes, I will now go to individual types of this glaucoma. Coming to the causes, one for the BOA, that is the primary open angle glaucoma. That the one I thought that doesn't really have symptom. One of the causes of this glaucoma is what we call raised intraocular pressure, raised IOP. The IOP is like the pressure of our eyeball. Like now, like our body system, we have blood pressure. Now, when someone is suffering from high blood pressure, you understand the person is hypertensive, which means the blood pressure is high in the body. Now, when it comes to the eye has its own pressure called intraocular pressure, IOP. That's the pressure of the eye. So now, when this pressure of the eye is elevated, when it is high, it goes and puts pressure on that optic nerve that I talked about. When it's putting pressure on that optic nerve, it keeps giving force on that place, making that place not to be receiving enough blood, blocking some things. Let me use this basic example. It's like a balloon now. I'm going to explain this intraocular pressure of the eye when it is high. It's like a balloon when you inflate a balloon. The air inside the balloon is normal. Take the balloon as the eye, and the air inside it as the eye pressure, the intraocular pressure. So when you inflate the balloon, it's normal, it's okay. Every shape of it is at equilibrium, it's the same shape. But imagine when you now start pressing that balloon. I know that all of us have at one time in our lives pressed or squeezed the balloon. So imagine when you're squeezing,
Yeah.
imagine when you are squeezing the balloon. A point comes that a part of that balloon will start expanding, even changing color because of the pressure you're giving that. So that is like what the high pressure does.
Yeah.
At the point of pressing that balloon, the place where there's highest pressure, that balloon will burst from there. So take that as your eye. That when your pressure of the eye is high, the eye will not burst because of the pressure, but it will go and be exerting or pushing, giving that optic nerve excess force. Thereby, that force will now make the optic nerve to be expanding. The optic nerve will be expanding. As the optic nerve is expanding, the vision is being lost gradually. It is when you are having this elevated eye pressure, that is when you now feeling that symptom I talked about eye ache, because an elevated eye pressure gives serious eye ache in the eye. So that when you have an irregular eye, you don't manage it. After a prolonged period of time, after a certain period of time, that person's vision will start deteriorating. And if the person now notices after some time that I can't see well with this particular eye or both eyes, because this glaucoma, this POAG more often attacks the two eyes, but it depends which eye deteriorates faster. So by the time you now get this feeling about and you come and check it, that time probably the eye now have been damaged to some extent. So one of these causes is the increased high eye pressure for the primary. The other one is genetic, because this glaucoma, especially the POAD, is inherited genetically. It runs in the family. So it is glaucoma. So you may not even have an high or elevated eye pressure, but because it runs in your family, you just inherit it just like that. So these are some of the basic causes of this glaucoma under POAD. For the acute, one of the major causes is there's an angle that drains fluid. That pressure, there's an angle that drains fluid. It's like circulation. As the eye is producing fluid, the angle drains it. Now this acute, there's an angle they call it the anterior chamber angle. There are some tissues there, the umbilical mesh line. Now, a time will come when that angle is narrow or is acute in nature. When it's narrow, it will block the development of this aqueous humor that is responsible for our eye pressure. Once it's blocked, it's narrow, the drainage is slow, and one day, if the angle is too narrow, it will cause this acute glaucoma. That means there is no drainage of this aqueous fluid, and the pressure will jump, and it will, like almost instantaneously, the person may have glaucoma. That's why they call it acute. It does not take a long time. It's acute. It happens overnight. So that's for the acute. That's for the causes. Now, for secondary glaucoma, the causes is, as his name says, is secondary. It can be from a punch, somebody hitting your eye. The eye starts swelling. You have increased eye pressure. From there, it will lead to glaucoma. It can be from cataracts, that not just cataract, the lens of the eye. The lens in this normal position is not there. The lens shifted and went and blocked that angle I talked about, and it still cause that bit of pressure and still cause it. It can be from the diabetes, as I said. It can also be from high blood pressure. Somebody who is hypertensive can still have glaucoma due to it. So that's
okay.
Of this glaucoma, to mention by the few, so that we will not take all our time. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think you've done so much of exhaustive work on explaining the causes of glaucoma. So before we move on from glaucoma, because we still have to talk about refractive error, and we have less than 7 minutes. So what are the preventive measures we can engage in to help
Okay.
reduce the risk of contracting this in a very fast one?
Okay. Like now, for the preventive measures, in terms of prevention, the only thing I can say that will help you to prevent, it's not as if you are susceptible to get it, you can't get it, is to go for a routine eye check, because glaucoma deteriorates over time. If you at least check your eye health every 6 months or every 1 year, if you want every 3 months, and they run some certain tests in your eye, they'll be able to detect some level of, if you are having it, they're able to detect it on time. Also, going for glaucoma screening on purpose, like go let them screen you for glaucoma, because there are some tests you can actually do to be able to know if somebody has glaucoma or not. Go so that they can be able to screen you. Go to an eye clinic, go to a professional that will screen you for glaucoma so that they will know. So you know your status. Like how you go for an HIV status check,
Yeah.
go for glaucoma check. But that is one of the things that actually take people's sight without knowing. Glaucoma is the silent tip of the sight. Somebody can sleep this night with eyes fully seen. By the following month, the person is not seen because what? Glaucoma has taken it, and they will start calling people from the village. But not knowing that it's
So
glaucoma.
glaucoma can actually make someone totally blind.
Overnight, yes. Yes. Somebody can,
Wow.
yes. You can
Wow.
actually go blind totally due to glaucoma.
Wow.
So, I mean, even there's glaucoma is that serious that you sleep this night seeing and you wake up tomorrow, you're not seeing. That's how bad glaucoma is.
Okay.
And if I should add, in terms of this whole management of glaucoma, as I said earlier, marijuana cannot cure glaucoma. Also, there is no current cure for glaucoma. There is no
Okay.
current cure for glaucoma. What we do with glaucoma is management. That is why emphasis are being laid on go for your eye health, glaucoma screening, not just normal glaucoma screening test to know your glaucoma status, so that you'll be able to know your status. If glaucoma is being found out early, unquote, you'll be able to maintain it. You use some form of medication that will help to drain the pressure very well to maintain the sight that is left, so that you can, as you're taking your medication, you can be able to still see normally. The glaucoma progression will be slowed to a very significant extent. So, mind you, don't go to all these local helps. Go to a
Yeah.
hospital or an eye clinic. Seek for a doctor's and eye doctor's advice there so that you know what to do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chobi. I think you've done much more than we are even expecting. But then, before we move ahead, or sorry, before we conclude this session, we want you to talk a bit about refractive error. Now, let me just group the questions so that once you start answering, you can pull everything together. You understand, because of our time. So you're going to talk about, let our viewers know what refractive error is. And of course, if there are types of refractive error, we would also want to know about it and the possible causes of this refractive error. If there are symptoms, of course, we also want to know it, and maybe possible correction. So maybe you should just talk about refractive error in a huge summary in the next, say, 5 minutes. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. Now, refractive error.
Yeah.
Now, refractive error is is in simple terms the error that is not pathologic. It's an eye issue. I won't call it a problem. It's an eye issue that is not pathologic, mainly because there is a particular refractive error, a particular type of refractive error that is pathologic. Now,
Okay.
yes, refractive error is more of error that deals with how light focus in our eye, because no matter the whole organs in the eye, the optic nerve, the black part of the eye, which is called the cornea,
Yeah.
black part of the eye, the other ones, the aqueous motion dimension, they are the organs or and tissues that we will talk about when talking about health. But they have refractive indices in the sense that they refract light into our eyes that the brain interprets through the optic nerve. The optic nerve will take it to the brain to interpret. So it's this light that enters our eye that is making us to see. So when this media is not functioning in terms of the refractive quality, we will not be able to see well. Now, there are different types of refractive errors. One, there is myopia, the one we call short sight. People with myopia are only able to see things that are near. They can read from morning to night without feeling any discomfort. That's myopia or short-sightedness. They only see things that are close. Now, there's another one, hyperopia or long-sightedness. These are people who see things that are far, but not things that are near. So they can stay at the back of the classroom or far back and be seeing everything on the board. But once it comes to writing, they can't see. But those people are the one called long hyperopia. They have long sight. They are long-sighted. Now there's another one that is called astigmatism. This one is different. It's more of, these are black part of the eye that's called the cornea. The black part of this eye. It's more of when this part is irregular. It's not spherical. You know how sphere is a spherical shape.
Yeah.
That's how this black part of the eye is, the cornea is. So when it is distorted, that's when astigmatism comes in. What can even distort this cornea is too much rubbing. Someone is always rubbing their eyes. So that's one of the things that can distort it. So these are the three basic refractive errors that we have. Then you can have the combination of all of them. Somebody can be one eye far sight, the other eye short sight. Somebody can be one eye, both eyes myopia, and there's astigmatism on top of it. One eye can also be hyperopic, long-sighted, and there's astigmatism on top of it. That's the basic one for people who are young. There's an extra one that is called presbyopia. Those ones are for people who are maturing in age. This age, somebody can experience that is 35 years. Those people they find it difficult to read at near. You will notice more with our parents. At the point they'll start taking their phone further to be able to read small prints. Now, this refractive error, apart from the presbyopia, are corrected and managed. Why I say corrected and managed? It's like somebody who can't walk very well. With a walking stick, they can walk better. With a walking stick, they can walk better. Without a walking stick, they can't walk better. So with these errors, with the help of a prescription, a glasses prescription, gotten from a licensed optometrist that did the breast test to find out which type you have. With the glasses, while wearing it, you'll be able to see. If you're not wearing it, you won't be able to see. So for the long-sightedness, they give you glasses that will help you to see when you're reading. Even with that sunglasses, when you want to look at far, you see. That's the correction method. Then for the near-sighted, who see only things are near, They will give you glasses that will help you to see the board very well. So that even if when you want to look at the book, even with still with the glasses, you're able to see very well. So these are the basic types of refractive errors. So how can you detect these refractive errors? It is by one, when you start noticing that you can't see things that are near or you can't see things that are far, go and visit the eye doctor. With this kind of complaint, they will do a test called the refraction test that will be able to help you to help the doctor to get what you need to see better, whether at far or near or otherwise. When they now get this prescription, that is now when they will use the prescription to fix your glasses. That will now they will now use to, after fixing the glasses, you will now wear it to be able to see better. So that's this for refractive error. So with your glasses you see better, without your glasses you see better. Now, I thought about a pathological kind of refractive error. It is under the particular one called myopia. They call it progressive myopia. People who, from the first time they wore glasses to see things that are far, it was a minimal power. But as they keep changing the glasses over a period of time, maybe after 6 months, they are coming back for change. It means it's progressing. It's not just refractive again. It's now pathology. It's not pathology. So it's not about it. It's not pathology. There's something I would have said. This pathology means the eyeball is being elongated. I failed to mention the causes of this refractive error. I talked about the astigmatism. When you rub too much, that's one of our causes. Now, but for the hyperopia and myopia, that's for the long side and the short side. For the long side, it means your eyeball is becoming shorter. For those who have small eyeball, there's every tendency that they will be far-sighted. There is every tendency that they will have hyperopia. That's they will be seeing things far because their eyeballs are short. Which means the focal length, all the mechanism of the light focusing on their retina, that's the back of the eye, is crossing the back of the eye. So that's it. Now for myopia, it means the eyeball are longer. It means the eyeball are longer. So that's why they are having the myopia. So people who have longer eyeballs are susceptible to have myopia. It is not a guarantee, but they are the ones who are accused of having this myopia. So now, in terms of the pathological myopia, it means that for some reason, the eyeball keeps elongating, it keeps stretching. So as it's stretching, the refractive power is increasing because the eye is trying to focus the image the person is seeing on the retina, but it's falling short. The image is falling in front of the retina. That is, I may not really explain it to a layman, but for long-sightedness, the image is falling behind the back of the retina. That is the back of the eye. Why for myopia, that's near sight, the image is falling in front of the retina. That is, the retina is at the back of the eye. So that's the mechanism. So for the pathological myopia, this is not pathological. It means the eyeball is stretching more and more. That means somebody will have the myopia. Now, glasses will help, but one of the ways to help the person more so that the pathology will not keep increasing is by giving the person what we call contact lenses. There's a special type of contact lens you can give the person to help to stop that progression and to try as much as possible to reduce it. So that is it for refractive error. So in summary, for the correction of refractive error is glasses and also otherwise contact lenses. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ikechukwu. Dr. Ikechukwu, before we go, in 1 minute, can these refractive errors be inherited from parents to offspring? Number one. Secondly, from what you said, they said people with longer eyeballs are more susceptible to hypermyopia. or people with shorter eyeballs are more susceptible to myopia. So the second question now is, does it mean that this it cannot happen from adulthood? It happens from when, like from childhood, people that have these issues have started noticing it. Can it appear during adulthood, or it's something that can appear any time of someone's life? So the first question is it heritable from parents to offspring? Second question is, can it appear anytime in one's lifetime? Like, for someone like me, is it still possible for me to have, because I think my sight is very good right now, but is it still possible for me to have long-sightedness in the future? Is this something that comes with age,
Okay.
or yeah?
Okay, now with the first question, yes, this is hereditary. The hereditary
Okay.
part is more of the myopia. People who are short-sighted, that is more prevalent for people who are myopic. That is short-sighted. If
Yeah.
both parents are myopic, or in general self wears glasses, there's a possibility that one of the children will even have the same
Mm.
refractive error. Yes.
Okay.
So there's a possibility. Now, it's more in myopes, people who have myopia, who are short-sighted. It is possible that it is purely hereditary. Yes, you can inherit it. Now, for the second question, let me make a small correction. Hyperopia is long sight. People who have who see things at far. Why myopia is people who see things that are near.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you remind me the second question again.
So the second question is it that these refractive errors appear from childhood,
Okay, yes.
or can it appear anytime in
Yes.
life?
It can appear at any time in life, but it should be monitored. Now, when the adult, the eye does not, at birth, is not fully matured. The eye, at birth, is not fully matured. It matures from birth to at most, between 8 to 10 years. So someone that is 5 years, 6
Mm.
years, the eye is still growing. It's still taking its full shape and all the parameters. So within this age, some people their own will be faster. So there's a possibility that someone that is 4 years, 5 years is not seeing better at that point, but will require glasses to help at that age. Now, as the eye is still growing, the person may reach the age of 10 and the eye is maturing, and that refractive error will vanish because the eye is still growing. But anybody that still wears glasses up to the age of 12 years, 14, 15, will be wearing that glasses for a very long time. So now, there's also a possibility that the refractive error can come up at someone's age due to some personal activities. Maybe someone that uses the eye much often. Some people who read a lot, can actually develop short-sighted or long-sighted because of too much reading. Because of excessive, I have a colleague that developed some level of eye discomfort because of long hours, days of spent of reading. So that's one of the criteria that can make you to develop at any point. Then some people can have refractive error, but it's not stopping them because there's some other eye mechanism. There's something they call reserve that is compensating for it. So they will not even know that they may not even know that they have refractive error until when that reserve is finished or something makes the eye to bring up the refractive error. Like my sister now, my sister started wearing glasses in her primary school days. You know how many years ago? Till now she's still wearing glasses.
Mm.
My colleagues, my siblings, some of them are wearing glasses. So someone that is wearing glasses at a young age and after a particular level keep wearing as long as possible. So, yes, to your question, somebody can develop refractive error at a certain age, a different age. A teenager can develop. Some people will come to your clinic and complain that I started noticing that I can't see patterns 5 years ago, which means it developed.
Yeah.
So yes, refractive error can come up at any point. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu. Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu is a very wonderful friend of mine from way back, and it's good to have you on our platform at ID Med Health this evening. And for those of us that have not liked our page on Facebook or follow us on Instagram or Twitter or subscribe to our channel, please do that before you leave this video. Thank you again, Dr. Ibebike Ikechukwu. You're a wonderful friend, and it's good to have you today sharing a whole lot of wonderful things with us today. Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay, thank
Ibebike.
you. If I can add a little something.
Yes, please, you
General
can.
eye health tips. Please and
Oh,
please.
okay.
Please and please. You see your vegetables, especially the dark green ones, those ones that are dark, eat it enough. Eat enough dark green vegetables. If you are cooking soup, don't overcook it. Don't overcook the vegetable. Make sure you eat enough. That's for dark green vegetables. Then also for fruits, take all fruits that are red inside. Carrot is one of them. Carrot is even has something that the eye needs. Beta carotene that eye needs. So eat enough carrot. Eat all vegetables. Eat all fruits that are red inside. Some people don't like eating raw tomato. Eat raw tomato. It helps both the heart and also the eye. Eat red grape. All those type of foreign ones. It helps. Don't eat red apple. It's not red inside. I'm talking about those food that are red inside. Eat red purple. Eat watermelon. They are red inside. It helps. Now, there is something that I also need to mention. We all know, as we are even growing, before any of us know anything about the eye, that carrot helps the eye. We know that. But we don't really know why carrot helps the eye a lot. It has that thing that I call beta carotene. It's an essential mineral that the eye needs. Now, if you know somebody that smokes, the person should not go and be eating carrots, saying that I want my eye to be good. Smoking. If you smoke and you eat carrot, you are killing your eye, because that substance called beta carotene that is used for the eye. If you combine it with smoking, it's damaging the eye. This one is not even what glasses will help. The eye disease that this combination creates is called macular degeneration. There is no cure. It's just management. So make sure if you know anybody that eats carrot and smokes, the person should stop smoking if they want to actually eat carrot. Not stopping to eat carrot then, but to smoke. The person should stop smoking so that if they eat carrots, they don't like eating healthy food. Not eating carrot and you're inviting serious eye damage to yourself. So it's important that they avoid anybody that smokes should stop smoking and eat carrots. So that is it about health tips. And most importantly, any small eye complaint you have, please go to an eye clinic. Go and see your eye doctor. Don't just go to pharmacy and be taking medication, because we have experienced many people who still come back to the eye clinic after taking so many drugs gotten from the pharmacy, and they are not able to help the problem. So it's good to actually go to the eye clinic, and don't go to any local place. People have condemned their eye just by using local things. They use urine. Some people go and put breast milk, and they will damage the eye. And when you now come to the hospital, you will not be looking for miracle from the doctor when you have used your hand to blind yourself. So please eat fruits, eat vegetables, dark vegetables, and also visit the eye clinic. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ikechukwu. You've done so much wonderfully well this evening. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you, everyone, for staying with us this evening. And please, if you've not liked or followed our pages on Instagram and Facebook, please do that as immediately as you can. And if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that also. And for all that Dr. Ikechukwu have said this evening, please make sure that you put these things at the tip of your fingers and you don't fail to follow this religiously, because your eyesight is your ability to live effectively in this world. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time on 30 Minutes on ID Med Health. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Ikechukwu. God bless us all. Good night.
Bye.